here. I know it's been a while, but coming at you with a new video on New Year's. And what I've learned in my 2016, if you've been following me, you've seen I've been traveling a lot. I really didn't work during this year, so it was a lot of introspection. And I feel like a lot of what I learned can be used in turn to help you in the upcoming new year. The first thing I really learned this year that I feel can help you, being happy 24/7 is not ideal. It's not healthy for you. During this year, I really was in a deep and dark place because of a lot of things that happened that were out of my control. Things I couldn't control. There was not much I can do. I tried my best on my end, but they never ended up going the way I wanted. So I kind of had to let that wave go and flow with it. And along the way, I had to build things along my way. What can I do on my part, or what can I do to kind of keep myself busy and be productive and continuously improve on myself and for the people around me? And that involved, whether I was reading more books or going to events or creating more videos and being more artful and creative and having ideas and sharing it with others. That is something I did. Now, coming into the new year, it's best to think use those negative, or as we see as negative, emotions and use them to better your new year. So if you're feeling angry, you can take that anger and fuel it to something else. Maybe your work, maybe even in your relationships. It depends on how, though. You can fuel that anger to make things better, to grow yourself. Use that as a fuel and push it out there. Same thing when it comes to feeling depressed, and that's what something I dealt with. And it's to change something, to change something, or go back to something you thought you needed to change, but you really didn't, and you felt like you needed it. For example, that's like being in New York City. At one point, I was just I can't wait to leave the city. I dislike it and everything. And then I went and lived in China for 6 months. And it really changed my perspective. I came to New York with a different set of goggles on, and I appreciate this city and the people in it much more than I ever have before. So kind of take that with you. Remember that being happy all the time is not healthy, and you can take advantage of those negative emotions. Another big one I learned was always be moving forward. I've always heard always be closing, always, kind of took that from there. It's just to take anything you're doing and push yourself. Always be moving forward. Don't let anything stop you that you're thinking about in the past. Just don't let it stop you. Keep moving forward. Take this new year, whether this is new relationships and something that probably ended, instead of being this is how it used to be before. Things change, and we have to accept that. And something I learned is just to accept change much more. Before, I accepted change, but not as much as I know I need to accept it now. And that's something I learned. And I feel like taking that into the new year for you would be to, when things change, it's just accept it. It might hurt. Sometimes it might be for the better. And sometimes it's not always for the better. And it's good to accept that and understand that not all things are going to be great and fairy tale and magical. And things are not going to be Disney, as I heard a little while ago, a few weeks ago. Just understand that, and it's always be moving forward. Don't stop. Grow. Learn new things. Try new things. Don't keep yourself enclosed in a bubble, because if you see people around you, a lot of people are enclosed in this bubble and they kind of do the same mundane things all the time, and you see these people, they don't like their life, they're always complaining about something. And one thing to really stop doing in 2017 is complaining. Stop complaining. It's actually my background on my phone. Boop. Gary V quote, by the way. Stop complaining. Always be moving forward. Another big one I learned was to see both sides of the story. Why is that important? Because recently we had a new president-elect, President Donald Trump. And everyone's going their opinions. I mean, he said so many things on the media, and he's crazy and he's stupid. He shouldn't have this powerful position and all this. And you have to look at the way he's won. Don't look at that side, but you gotta also look at other things. There's a reason why he won. There is an X factor. He's a great marketer. He's a genius at marketing. He's smart. He's not as stupid as we think. Maybe on the media he does that, but that's to get attention. That's to get the viral hits. That's to get. He knows how to persuade and get people to listen and mess with your emotions. He's like this little magician on the media who gets your attention that way. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. You know, if you've ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street, any publicity is better than no publicity. So you got to think of that. Always look at both sides of the story. You know, we tend to be so opinionated on one thing and one way of doing things all the time. We are all there, especially people like me who are really hard-headed. We're very opinionated on one thing, but it's good to take a step back, listen to the other side, and try not to let your opinions persuade that. Like, sit, shut up, listen. And that's something you should do. Always look at both sides of the story, even if you don't fully agree. Find out why this person thinks that way. Find out what's the other side of this. And you'll see that knowing both sides, it's like one of my mentors have told me before. Try to argue, if you're not arguing, but if you're talking to somebody and their opinion about something is different from yours, be better at arguing on their opinion than they are. So you know their side much better than they do. And they'll kind of understand and see, like, wow, like this guy knows his stuff. He knows both sides. Maybe I should listen to him too. And they'll be more willing to listen to you. Always look at both sides. Listen. And a big one, the last one that I really want to share with you is something I heard when I was very young. You've probably heard before. Is be careful what you wish for. When you look at your goals, you look at them big and pretty. This is really great. Gary Vee quote where he says, think about how not so great it'll be when you're on top, but think about how great it is right now, no matter what you're going through. Because we tend to wish and be like, oh, I can't wait till I'm making this much money. I can't wait till this happens in my life. For years I was like, I can't wait to go to China. I can't wait to leave New York. And I realized that was something that it's like, wait, I miss New York. Wait, I miss the energy of the New York, the hustle and bustle. The people that I meet are so nice. The people that I meet are so smart and intelligent. Versus where I was, where maybe it was like that, but I didn't understand the language. I was in another foreign country that felt like another universe. And I was like, wow, I kind of didn't want this. Like, I chose to live here, but living there was not for me. I could have traveled through. That would have been something I should have done. Think about just travel through. Be successful first. Build an empire, and then when you're able to do whatever you want, you travel through for a month or two. You get tired of one place, you go to the next place. I was there for too long. It was like, wow, I wish this upon it. And it's great that, I had this goal to do many years ago, and it happened. I made it come into fruition by taking action. But it's not what I really wanted. I went out there with high expectations and was met with very low ones. And that made me very depressed. It made me miss the people out here that I have. It made me miss New York and the energy and the amazing part about it. And the reason why so many people come here from all over the world. What do you think? When you think about your goals in the future and making all that money, are you thinking about what you'll be able to do with your money? You're not thinking about the tax burdens you'll have to deal with. You're not thinking about many of the relationships that you may have to really look into because you don't know if they're using you for your money or they're using you or they're actually your friend. You gotta think about these things. And being in China and dealing with all this during this year, it's like, yes, it's great. I've always wanted to travel. That was my big thing. And I got to do a lot of travel this year. If you follow me, Australia, China, Japan. I got to visit a lot of little spots in China and see some beautiful places. But then now I'm like, it's time to put a hold on that. It's time to grow something, build something. What's gonna make me happier? Yes, I love traveling, but I think I want to build something more than I love traveling. What am I willing to sacrifice? Because remember, every single thing you do is a sacrifice. If you read the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, he explained this. We can't do everything at one time. Some things you have to sacrifice other things to be able to focus on some things. So what are you going to focus in on 2017? What are you going to sacrifice in 2017? What are you willing to sacrifice in 2017? Not everything's going to be all rainbow and daisies as you've seen. So be careful what you wish for. Think about it. Make sure 2017 is going to be your year. Forget about resolutions. Think about long game. Think about what you want to be doing 5 years from now. Start taking action on that, just as I will. And I'll be documenting this journey. I hope you will too. So I'll see you in the new year with plenty of new videos. Be expecting them. And it's been great. Much love, everyone. Happy New Year. Time to head out. Peace.